This is going to be your best winter, okay? Because I want you to feel the glory of alignment and ease versus making things more challenging for yourself. As I promise you, my loves, the quiet is where you get clear about yourself, about your goals, about your energetics. And when a woman is clear and she's not in the constant rat race of keeping up and being overproductive, but she is very specific with her productivity and she adds the element of pleasure in that place, she's a phenomenon. So I want you to think of winter as your menstrual cycle. This is the season when you're just not gonna have energy for excess. Things need to be very clear, concise, and they need to nourish and nurture you. And this reason is because during our menstrual and also during our luteal, which is connected to autumn, this is when our hormones start to drop, okay? Our dopamine, our serotonin, our oxytocin, everything just starts to base out, right? So when we're in a season like the end of autumn and the beginning of winter, and we have these huge goals for ourselves for the new year, we're also going into the holidays, it can be such a contrast. A lot of the times I see these winter arcs or these conversations of your goals, like you need to push yourself and be super disciplined and very focused. It's very, very young. It's very masculine. And as a woman that is masculine herself, I feel like I embody both. I find that when we are that aggressive during seasons that are quite literally changing our hormonal structures, this can create this mode where women feel stuck or they feel overwhelmed or they start something and they can't continue it. And then all these cycles of shame and all these things happen. So a way that I've hacked this is to normalize pleasure. All right, so now it's time to build your hormonal menu to make sure that you stay consistent, you stay clear, and you stay grounded. Because again, we don't move based upon our mood, we move based upon the plan. So being prepared has helped me tremendously. And this is so much fun to build these menus, right? So when it comes to your oxytocin menu, you want to focus on, again, connection with touch. With women, this is so important. So for me, I started off this whole entire video with touch, right? Oiling, touching your hair, working on your hair growth, hair health, touching your skin. I'm oiling my body and focusing on body care, face care, not just so I can look beautiful and have the glow, but so I can really work with my oxytocin levels. And so oiling your body, even I love to say prayers over my body. I spend time with it. Maybe also lymphatic massages, relaxation massages. When you go into the steam room, these can be beautiful times to bring in an essential oil and really start to push it into your body. But anything that allows you to feel touch and connected, right? If you have loved ones that you trust and feel safe with, cuddling with them, cuddling with your animals, but these are non-negotiables, right? And so when you start to feel as though you're getting distracted, ask yourself, do I need touch? Do I need some form of comfort right now? Okay, let me go to my oxytocin menu and let me start to pull things from it that can reconnect me so I get that clarity. Because also when you're doing that activity, this is when you can start to move through those blocks. When your creative block hits, when your mood shifts a lot, when you just don't want to do the thing, select something from your menus first. And then this will create the momentum, the clarity, and maybe the insight that you needed to actually become more in alignment with what you need. Now let's talk about dopamine, the beloved hormone of novelty, right? Especially if you're a neurodivergent cutie. Now, this is very important that you have an extensive list. This is gonna be the fun menu, right? And let this list be something that no one's gonna see. No one's gonna see you doing these things, but it's for you. Candles are one of the most underrated ways to literally create dopamine, okay? And that's why during the olden times, like candles were so integral besides just light. It created mood and ambiance, but it also is creating dopamine in the mind because the novelty of the flame, right? If you're also into flame reading, that can be a cool thing. Candle making, I love to make candles during these colder months. It's always been a practice of mine. And playing with different scents. You can also, again, work into learning a language, learning something that you're really interested in, a hobby, but developing these skill sets and working through those blocks of feeling cringe or feeling like you're a novice. During these months, this is when you get to really create. You get to be a great student because you don't have as much distraction. But it's important that you occupy your time with things that create the healthy dopamine. Again, not just the dopamine of binge scrolling or the dopamine of hanging out with people, situations, experiences that will flood you with dopamine, but then hit you with cortisol, right? So we want to make sure that we are creating these menus, these experiences that allow us to grow in very healthy, sustainable, and clear ways towards whatever life we design and we desire for ourselves. Now, for our serotonin menu, things like music, things like sunlight, again, walking outside, getting some movement, this can allow us to start to feel more inspired, more safe with our time. Serotonin is built through that consistency, those steady structures, that healthy dose that we're giving ourselves. I want you to think of yourself like you are literally the pharmacy. You have the pharmacy inside of your body, inside of your brain. And during these months, it's important that you're taking the right dosage for these chemicals that are moving through you. And you can get these chemicals through the habits that you build during these winter months, these colder months. And as you start to take these habits with you in the spring and summer, you are stronger, more resilient. Your nervous system is more stabilized because you focused on giving yourself consistency, giving yourself clarity, and doing it in a way that's pleasurable, not in a form of punishment. Another Jedi trick is that if you normalize these types of behaviors, where it's pleasure, you're getting things through pleasurable experiences, it's not through force and punishment, and I need to do this thing and I need to push through, then you also are not going to normalize business that requires you to do that, people that require you to do that, and also more importantly, the voice inside of your mind that can be hypercritical, and you start something, you stop it, that inconsistency, the fear of being seen. All of these things that we tell ourselves that can be really rooted in punishment and judgment and criticism can be resolved with the ways that we also support ourselves during these winter months. So your solitude is your strength, my loves. This is a season where you get to be your own muse. You get to see yourself in all of her capacity, right? Like you get to see yourself when she feels happy, connected, but you also get to see yourself when maybe you have those emotions of loneliness or you're learning and you're watching how you speak to yourself. This is where you build that tenacity, you build that endurance. And endurance isn't about just doing the thing, it's how you start to transform yourself and make yourself glorious, make yourself beautiful, make yourself true. And your truth may not be what your truth was last year. Your truth may be different than everyone around you, but that is your truth, and it is so important that you stay rooted in that. So as we welcome our solitude and this hormonal reset, and we're lowering the external cortisol triggers, and we're focusing more on internal repair, both mentally, physiologically, and we're understanding the mechanics of ourselves, and we're understanding how beauty affects and impacts our biochemistry, we become the alchemists, the scientists of our lives. We start to architect different futures of how we do business, how we build families, how we speak about certain dynamics. And when you stop chasing that warmth of the outside, that hormonal chemistry on the outside, and you start to find the fire within yourself, you start to build health within yourself, clarity within yourself, this is when the dynamics change. You're not chasing whatever you desire, but you're embodying it, you're attracting it, you're becoming it. So that summer body, that business, that success, that wealth, it's built now. Not when you feel better. It's built now, and how you take care of yourself now, and how you plan for those moments when you will not feel well, right? And creating those menus that will help you reconnect with yourself and understand that it is not a punishment to care for yourself. It is your priority. And you create this relationship through pleasure. Pray this was helpful, my loves. Let's connect more. I do live Q&As on my Patreon in the Oracle Circles, and I will also list ways that we connect in the description. Put in the comments section, what are your techniques, your ways of building up more love, connection, and clarity during these colder months. Talk to you soon.